Hey guys, welcome to Test This Tech, and today we got a headset here. This is I just ordered this actually earlier today, and it showed up today, which is nice. But this is the Ozeino ZW1. This is a wired headset, so it's not a wireless one. But I was just kind of looking to change up the headset shenanigans. Use this one for work instead of the Logitech one I've been using that's been kind of hurting my ears because it's on ear. So this is obviously a gaming headset, but wanted to check it out. As far as for wearing it, it's fairly comfortable. Okay, as far as for what it comes with a couple of different cables. So you have cables where it has the adapter where you can plug in into a sound card separately. So you got this guy here. It comes with a kind of like I don't think that's an OTG per se, but it's like an extending hub, an extender, I guess. The funny thing is that there is a USB end for this headset, but that's just to power the RGB. I find it to be really funny. Kind of annoying at the same time because it's like extra weight that isn't necessary on the cable. But nonetheless, I'm curious to see how this sounds. This is the first time I've recorded plugged into this. And the windscreen is something that does not come with it. So that's kind of a downer. This is a separate windscreen. And as you can see, it's not, it doesn't really fit, but it's doing the windscreen thing to my knowledge. Okay. As far as for how I have it plugged in, I'm using a Sabrent adapter. So Sabrent, they have these digital audio converters. So you can plug this into the USB hub that would plug into a computer. And then I have that connected to an OTG adapter, which is an A to Type C. And that's how I'm recording this video here, okay? So, curious to see how this sounds. Obviously, in a perfect world, or in a world that I prefer, is wireless, like the Wolf Laws that I have. I don't have them here with me right now, but that is the consensus here. I think... Oh, I have to play it back to see how it sounds, but I think they sound better than the last headset I reviewed, which is the Phonicus headset, which I've had two of those, and the audio output is very low, so I just don't recommend those. But this has a pretty decent sound so far, and it is officially over ear. My head doesn't feel too heavy wearing the headset. And it feels relatively sturdy. This is about $16, I want to say, after it's slightly discounted at the moment. And it was available for same day. So I'm going to listen to this video, and then I will do a final consensus on what I think. I don't want to upload the video, listen to it, and say, oh, no, don't get it. So I'm going to listen to the video, and then I'll give my consensus here of what I think. All right, guys, so after listening to the headset, I think this does sound pretty good. It is a nice, fairly decent signal when it comes to the sound for the headset. There's a couple of caveats though. So what I mentioned in the prior section of this video is that I plugged items into my phone to record that were not included in the box. Okay, so the positive thing is that yes, you do get this, which you can use to plug into, a USB DAC, which is what I'm doing currently. Again, I'm using the Sabrent, a USB DAC. So at the end is USB A, but I have a Type C adapter plugged into my phone. So to me, that is the thing where you're going to need another item to plug into a computer, because the USB on this is not for audio. It seems like it's just to power the RGB. I tried plugging it into my computer, just the USB section of it, and it didn't appear that it actually made it, a USB headset. So because of that, I think that is a problem. That is a problem. So I'm going to double check that actually. So instead of using this cable into the Sabrent, which is not included into the box. I'm going to plug in the USB into the OTG and then record, and let's see if we get a sound out of it. All right, guys. So yeah, I just plugged in the USB without the other cables directly into it, and it just powers on the RGB. So it's kind of silly. Usually when there's a USB in for a headset, it actually works as a USB microphone. So this one, the USB is literally just powering the RGB. Maybe I haven't worn enough headsets where maybe that's how it is, but from my personal experience, when I have a headset, it has, when it's USB, it actually, that's an audio chip. That makes it a USB microphone, but not really for this. But I still would recommend this just because the microphone is good. It's possible it might be the Sabrent, but from the frequency of my voice going into the mic, going into whatever, it still sounds good to me. Okay, so compared to the Phonicus where I spoke into it, and it went to the USB adapter into the phone, did not nearly sound as good. I would say this arguably sounds just as good as the Wolf Laws, if not maybe a little better. And again, that might be just the Sabrent adapter, which I think is like $8 or $9. So food for thought. Again, this is the Ozeino headset here. This was like $16. It's like 20 or 21 bucks after tax. I don't believe there was shipping involved. But I would recommend it. But you do need to get some other adapters. So whether that's worth it to you is really up to you. But again, test this tech. I'll catch you guys next video.